Have you ever looked into the eyes of a beloved pet and wondered, what happens to them after they leave this life? Do animals have a place in heaven? Today, we'll explore what the Bible has to say about animals, our relationship with them, and their possible place in eternity. From the very beginning, animals have held a unique place in God's creation. In Genesis, God created the heavens and the earth, and with a purposeful hand, filled the world with creatures of all kinds. Each animal brought something unique, something beautiful to the landscape. Genesis 1:24-25 says, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, livestock and creeping things, and beasts of the earth according to their kinds." With these words, we see God's appreciation for diversity, for the array of life that fills the earth. He declared each one good, meaning that every creature is an intentional part of His divine tapestry. This includes every animal we encounter in our lives, each bird in the sky, each creature in the field, each beloved pet by our side. God designed this world not just to be inhabited, but to flourish in harmony. Animals are not random additions. They were created with intention, bringing beauty and balance to the world. Through these verses, we're reminded that animals are here not only to fill the earth, but to act as companions, teachers, and reflections of God's creativity and care. They are quite simply part of God's masterpiece. The Bible recognizes and even celebrates the unique bond between humans and animals. When God placed Adam in the Garden of Eden, He brought each animal to Him, allowing Adam to name them, establishing a relationship based on respect, understanding, and connection. In that moment, God entrusted humans with a special role, a role of care and companionship. Proverbs 12:10 later emphasizes this, stating, "The righteous care for the needs of their animals." This verse reminds us that caring for animals isn't just a nice idea, it's a mark of righteousness. Compassion for animals is a value close to God's heart. We see this compassion in the lives of farmers, shepherds, and pet owners who understand and appreciate the connection we share with these creatures. Today, in a world that often separates humanity from nature, the Bible encourages us to cherish this bond. God's design was for humanity to live in harmony with creation, not separate from it. Animals in the Bible are not just background characters. They often play pivotal roles in God's unfolding story. Consider Noah's Ark, where God's command was not only to save Noah and his family, but two of every kind of animal as well. In this story, we witness God's desire for all life to continue to be preserved. Noah's Ark stands as a powerful reminder of God's compassion and His promise to protect every living thing. Another example comes from the story of Daniel in the lion's den. When Daniel is thrown into the lion's den, God closes the lions' mouths to protect him, showing His authority over creation. Through this story, God reveals that His power extends to the animals, and they too are part of His plans. In the Bible, animals are sometimes messengers, as in the story of Balaam's donkey, who speaks to warn Balaam, or they are symbols, like the dove bringing Noah a sign of new life. We see them serve as reminders of God's presence and messages of His love. Do animals have souls? This question has intrigued believers for centuries. Genesis 2:7 tells us that God breathed the breath of life into Adam, making him a living soul. Interestingly, the Hebrew word nephesh, often translated as a soul or life, is used in the Old Testament not only for humans but also for animals. This suggests that animals, like us, possess a life force given by God. Human souls are unique because they bear God's image, enabling us to seek and reflect Him in special ways. However, the Bible implies that animals share in this divine breath, an eternal life-giving force that connects all living things. While the Bible does not lay out an afterlife for animals as it does for humans, if animals are part of God's creation declared good, could they not also share in the renewal of all things? This notion invites us to honor animals as beings created with purpose, life, and value. The Bible offers glimpses into a restored world beyond our understanding, where animals seem to have a place. In Isaiah 11:6-9, we're given a beautiful vision of peace in God's renewed creation. "The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the young goat." In this image of perfect harmony, animals animals coexist without fear or threat, reflecting a peace that is yet to be. In Revelation 5:13, we see John's vision where every creature in heaven and on earth and under the earth and in the sea sings praises to God. This portrayal includes all of creation in a song of worship, suggesting that animals, too, are part of this heavenly chorus. While these passages are often interpreted symbolically, they offer a hope-filled vision of the place animals may hold in God's eternal plan. Throughout his life, Jesus taught us about God's care for all creatures. In Matthew 10:29, he asks, "Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will fall to the ground outside your Father's care." This verse powerfully reminds us that God's love extends even to the smallest creatures. Jesus was known for his compassion toward people, but his words often reflect his care for all creation, echoing his Father's love. If our Creator values each sparrow, we can trust that he values the animals that share our lives. They, too, are a part of the world he sustains, the creation he called good. Through Jesus, we're reminded that God's care knows no bounds. The Bible calls us to a sacred responsibility as stewards of God's creation. In Genesis, humans are given dominion over the earth, not to exploit it, but to care for it. Proverbs 27:23 reminds us, "Know well the condition of your flocks and give attention to your herds," highlighting the importance of caring for those we are entrusted with. To honor animals is to honor the one who created them. As stewards, we are tasked with protecting and nurturing all of God's creatures, living out a reflection of God's own love and care. When we treat animals with kindness, whether by caring for pets or conserving wildlife, we participate in a sacred duty, a way of worship. So, will we see our pets again in heaven? The Bible leaves this question open, inviting us to wonder and trust in God's love. Romans 8:21 speaks of a future where all creation is set free from its decay, suggesting that animals may share in this redemption. If animals bring joy, comfort, and companionship here on earth, might they not also have a place in eternity? Heaven, we are told, is a place of perfect love, a place where all things are made new. While the Bible doesn't answer every question, we know that in his perfect plan, God has prepared something more wonderful than we can imagine. As we reflect on these mysteries, let us remember God's boundless love. He created every creature we cherish and cares for each one. In this life, we are called to treat animals with kindness, recognizing them as part of God's creation. And in the life to come, we trust that God's eternal plan will bring joy and wholeness beyond what we can dream. May we, like Job, trust in the Creator who knows each sparrow and holds each creature dear. Until that day, let us honor them as treasured members of a world beautifully crafted by our Heavenly Father. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. God bless you all.